So the 2026 Ferrari F80 makes 1,184 horsepower, and that's not even its most exciting feature. Now this is Ferrari's newest halo car. So this is going to be a limited production, and as a halo car goes, you know it's going to be expensive. So this is a Formula One inspired car that is the 6th in line of halo cars, which goes from the 288 GTO to the LaFerrari. Now the F80 has a V6 engine with 3 electric motors, totaling 1,184 horsepower. Now, there are only 799 of these that are going to be made, and they will start reaching the US, it says, in 2026. Obviously, with only 799 being made, we don't know how many of them are going to make it into the US. That's another question. But this is obviously going to be a rare car, and a very expensive one. Trust me, I'll tell you the price of it later. So it is a street legal car, but it really pushes the boundaries of what a street legal car is, again being Formula One inspired. So as far as power plants are concerned, the 3-liter V6 will redline at 9,200 RPMs. This thing's going to sing. Now this V6 is not naturally aspirated. It does have twin turbos, and engine alone with the turbos, it produces 888 horsepower, 627 pound-feet of torque. Then the electric motors come into play. Another 296 from those. 2 motors up front, which will also add torque vectoring, and then 1 more electric motor that is sandwiched between the engine and the transmission. Now they're saying it will have an 8-speed dual clutch automatic, and that there will be practically 0 turbo lag. 0 to 60 is said to hit in 2.15 seconds. That's insane. 124 miles an hour in 5.75 seconds. Name me any other car that comes to mind that could do that. That's absolutely nuts. Now before I give you any more stats on this car, let's just take a look at this thing in general, because it is really neat looking. It looks very slick, very sleek, and you can see where the Formula One inspiration comes from. I was kind of shocked to see that it doesn't have a giant wing off the back, but it does say it has active aero, so that wing does come up. Now the doors open up a lot like the LaFerrari, giving it that very special, unique, exotic look. The cockpit, it's very interesting. I mean, it kind of very much Ferrari interior, but very futuristic as well. It has a very unique steering wheel. It's got the digital dash as you would expect. The center console is very, very interesting to me. It's hard to even see what's going on there, but I like this sharp design. It looks like it's covered in Alcantara. It's really hard to tell, but it's really cool looking. It's a little strange they have 2 different colored seats though. That's very interesting. Not only 2 different colors, but 2 different styles. Now you can see the V6 engine in the back. You can even see part of the suspension under there as well. Very large, what looks to be possibly exhaust, because we do have a 1-cylinder exhaust coming out. It's like 2 giant cylinders. I would say it's intake, but that doesn't make any sense. That intake has to come off from the sides for the turbos. But that's a huge exhaust. Then you can see from this angle the aerodynamics that's going to go down the side of the car. I'm thinking there's a little area there where the red splits. That could be air induction. From this angle, it's exactly what it looks like. It looks like that's the air induction for the turbos. Definitely a very unique car for sure. Now remember that really interesting stat I talked about earlier? Well, here it is. This car produces 2,315 pounds of downforce at 155 miles an hour. That's absolutely insane. I couldn't believe that number when I looked at the pictures, but it is active aero. The wing does come up at an 11-degree angle and has a very high, they call it downforce mode. Now what's interesting is that there's no manual mode for the wing. In many cars you can activate the aero via buttons or switches or whatever on the inside of the car, but Ferrari's saying that's not the case on this one. It's electronically controlled through the car's computer only. There's no manual way to get the wing up. So even if you like the look of it, it doesn't look like you're going to be able to throw it up there. It says that it knows best when to send it up and when to keep it down, and will adjust its height accordingly from 37 miles an hour and beyond. Now, if you're in high downforce mode off and you want top speed, it's going to keep the wing down to create less drag, and it says it will reach 217 miles an hour. Now, that's electronically limited, which is interesting because I know a lot of people are going to argue that the C8ZR1 just clocked 233 miles an hour. I'm curious to see what the horsepower rating on that is and many other features because we don't have any of that yet. Also the price tag. Now I'm sure you're by now wondering what the price tag on this car is. Now you might want to sit down if you aren't already, because in order to obtain one of these, you're going to have to fork out $3.1 million. Yeah. You got to be a hardcore Ferrari guy to even consider throwing down that kind of cash. It's a lot of money. I know it's a lot of car. It's going to be a collector status piece. Ferrari even made a joke about President's Day sales that they would give 0% financing and that you could own a Ferrari outright after payments of 523 years later. But as usual, I want to know what your thoughts are down in the comments of the F80. Is this the car of the future? Are we going too far with cars nowadays? Or is this right about on par with where things should be? Definitely hit that like button and subscribe button on your way out. And I'll see you in the next upload.